Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I'm bringing you the new episode. They had a mid-season break, so I'm bringing you the new episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's still season 10, but it's episode 17. The streets are talking. Okay. If you are new here, welcome. We do reviews here, okay? This is the Diva Nation, okay? And if you're returning, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And we will begin. All right. Latricia goes to visit Letitia at her home. Latricia said, Xavier, bless his heart. Okay. Aww. He was in a car accident. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. I got a son who's the same age. And I be worried about him driving. He was in a car accident. The car flipped over and stuff like that. But he came out unscathed. I'm trying to figure out if he was drinking because he came out unscathed. Okay. Yeah. Because usually if you're drinking, then your flight or flight doesn't kick in, okay? But if you're not drinking, your fight or flight kicks in, and so your body steps up, and then you break a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to figure out, was he drinking because he came out unscathed? You know how those people who have DUIs and they kill everybody in the car except for themselves? Yeah, that's what happened. That will happen with Karen Huger. She hit a tree because she was fucked up. So she came out unscathed. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out, was he drinking? And that's why he came out unscathed. Whatever the case may be, I'm glad he is still here, and I'm glad he came out unscathed. Okay. He needed to stop drinking if he was drinking. Okay. All right. Just letting you know. But anyway. Oh, shit. Letitia. Come here, Letitia. Come here. I gotta we on only 2 minutes in the video. I got to talk to you. Letitia, do you have anything else to talk about but Nell? Do you have anything else to talk about but Nell? Okay? Because every time she gets with anybody, she bring up Nell. So, she bring up Nell. She was like, have you talked to Nell? Why do you fucking care? Why do you fucking care if she talked to Nell? Okay? You and Nell ain't friends. That's fine. Y'all can be cordial. Why the fuck you care about she talked to Nell? Anyway, have you talked to Nell? And also, I thought you got your mama to talk to Nell because you don't even want to talk to your elders. And I thought y'all squashed this at the 80s party. I thought y'all squashed this. Okay? But obviously not. Moving on. Letitia said, yeah, well, I had a difficult time at the winery with Nell and Destiny. Why are you still talking about it? I'm just asking. Okay. Letitia feels like Destiny again is defending Nell. And why do you care? Anyway, and she said that hurt her feelings. Okay. Your feelings should be okay now. Didn't we squash this at the 80s party? Didn't we squash this at the 80s party? Why are we still talking about this? Anyway, Latricia, so thank God they get off of Nell because nobody cares about Nell, okay? Nobody cares about Nell. So Latricia, now let's get into some conversation that we care about. Latricia said her and Ken are rocky. Okay, Ken moved out and he's living with Will. This is the conversation we need to talk about. We don't need to talk about you and Nell no more. Okay, y'all need to talk, focus on Ken and Trisha. Okay, she said social media. Somebody on social media, okay? And so I think maybe Erica De Niro TV said this or whatever, that it's always the cast and social media in Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, it's the cast plus social media, because everything goes on social media, and then they have a little attitude what they saw on social media. So I think she said that. I don't know. Shout out to Erica De Niro TV if she did say that. If she didn't say that, shout out to her anyway. But so he said that, Ken, somebody told Ken that I was out dating somebody, And so somebody told him that he was out dating, she was out dating somebody, okay? But later in the season, she said she spent the block with somebody. So maybe this is a person that she spent the block with, but we don't know. We'll see later in the episode or later in the season. Letitia said, well, Ken has been in a lot of ladies' DMs, okay? And so, and Latricia gave a look like, oh, well, that's how he met me. So he could be in somebody else's DMs, because that's how he met me. Shit. That's how he met me. So maybe he in somebody else's DMs. We don't know. But like I said, he moved out and he's staying with Will. But apparently not later in the episode, he got him an apartment. But whatever the case may be, Letitia asked, are you and Ken still talking about marriage? And so Latricia said, I ain't. I said, God damn, I don't know what's going on with this relationship. See, this is the relationship we should be talking about. Nell, we shouldn't be talking about it no more. We should never be talking about Nell no more, because she got her own business. Because we going on to Nell and Chris. Okay, Chris, realtor license got suspended. Okay, so okay, that is fucking okay. All right. He got his realtor license is suspended. Oh my God. Okay. So that is money that is not coming in into the household. Okay. So Nell is she was already overwhelmed when Chris had his realtor license. Now she even more overwhelmed. Okay. She even more overwhelmed because she watches her not one, but two granddaughters. Okay. Her dad has moved in. Okay. Plus her program director at the daycare or whatever left. And so she really overwhelmed. Okay. She really overwhelmed. Oh, listen, I can understand. Give it this right here. I know. I felt all of that cry. She really overwhelmed. Okay. So, and she ain't got no extra income coming from Chris. I feel for her. I feel for you, Nell. I feel for you. But if you need a nurse, let me know. My child is in college. I can move to Huntsville, okay? I can go live in your house. And I can watch your grandbabies too, because I'm a pediatric nurse, okay? Just you can pay me and I can watch your daddy and your grandchildren, okay? Let me know. Just call me, okay? Call me, okay? Because I'm a nurse, okay? So I can watch your daddy, okay, and your grandchildren, okay? Work with me. So, yeah, she overwhelmed, okay? So, but I was confused about this whole conversation. Did she say that Chris was on the payroll, though? Did she say that? Somebody tell me, did she say that Chris was on the payroll? Because she said, Martell, talking about how you running the Sam's and you doing this and that for the daycare. And she was like, but you getting paid for it. I can't be the only one to think that Chris is on the payroll as well as he on the payroll everywhere else. So somebody tell me, was I mistaken? Is Chris on the payroll as far as the daycare? He running the stamps and stuff like that. Somebody tell me, please. Anyway, but yeah. So Nail, she said, Chris was like, well, how can I help? How can I help? She said, can you give me a nanny, a nurse, and a program director? Listen, I can try. I don't know about no program director, but I can try. I can try. But I've been a nurse for 30 years. So I can take care of your daddy and I can take care of your grandchildren. And I can help you with the program direction. I don't know nothing about it, but we can figure it out. Okay, I'm old enough to figure it out. Okay, call me now. Call me. Okay. Anyway, we go on to Kimmy and Maurice. Maurice Jr. went off to college, and so Kimmy and Maurice are what they call them. Hell, what am I? I forgot what when they go off to college. I forgot the name of it. We golly, oh God, whatever the case may be, they living alone by themselves. Okay, because I can't think of the word what it is, but they living alone by themselves. Okay. Somebody tell me the word because I don't forget. Empty nesters. See, I got it. They empty nesters. Okay. So Kimmy wants Maurice to do better. Okay. She said, I just want you to do better. Because when he said that he wants somebody, he wants Kimmy to be happy, and if that's not with him, then that's fine. And Kimmy is upset because she was just like, no one in a marriage wants to hear that if I can't make you happy, then you should leave me and go with somebody else. Nobody in the marriage wants to hear that. So she said, I just want you to do better. Instead of saying, be happy with somebody else, I just want you to do better and to try to make me happy. More so than you say, well, I can't make you happy, so go somewhere else. That's how Maurice thinking. I can't make you happy, so go somewhere else. Okay. And Kimmy wants him to try to make her happy because he obviously hasn't tried to make her happy. And Kimmy, come here, girl. I don't think he's going to try to make you happy. Okay? I don't think he's going to try to make you happy. Okay? I think you fighting a losing fight. Okay? You have been with him for 7 years and you've been married for 7 years. So that's 14 years. And if he has not tried to make you happy in 14 motherfucking years, what makes you think he gonna try? Okay, what makes you think he gonna try? He not gonna try because you married him. You ain't even get him to do better when y'all was dating. So he not gonna try. Okay, so you need to get that ghost up, Kimmy. You need to get that ghost up. Like I said, Kimmy wants them to do better, for each other. I think that's the wrong road. Okay, I think that's the wrong road, baby. Okay. Then they go back to Carlos' interview talking about how when Kimmy was in chemotherapy and she rolled over and suffered through sex because she didn't want to have sex, but she rolled over to let him enter her. Okay. As Miss Seeley called it, let him do his business. Let him do his business on top of you. Okay. Yeah. So Kimmy was like, when you speak about me, you need to be more thoughtful. You need to think about what you're trying to say and to be more thoughtful. And so she said, and every time I try to get you to be more thoughtful, I get pushback, And then he was like, well, opposites attract. And he laughed.
Not funny. Didn't laugh.
It's not funny. It's not funny. None of that is funny. None of it. Okay. And Kimmy was like, I want to punch you in the face. I'm with you on that. I want to punch him in the face too. Okay. And so then Maurice was like, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to do better. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. He ain't going to do better and he ain't going to work on it. Okay. We keep that in mind. Kimmy was like, I love you, kiddo. And I just want you to know that. First of all, when she said kiddo, so basically you think he a child? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm just asking for a friend. You think he a child? Okay, you said you love him, kiddo. All right. You think he a child? I'm just asking. Okay, anyway. Destiny meets her dad and her godmama at bingo hall. I know that's right. Play bingo. Win something for me. I need to play bingo. I do. I need to play bingo. Anyway. Destiny says she found her siblings and her mama, Miss Rhonda. Okay. Terrell, that's her older brother. He is deceased. They never said how he died, but he is deceased. And so she has 6 other siblings that she has never met because apparently it was her and Terrell, and they know they was raised by Miss Rhonda, until Destiny was like 5 or whatever, and then her mama got into drugs and stuff like that, and so she went to live with her dad, and I think Terrell was by a different dad because why he didn't take Terrell too. So I think Terrell was by a different dad. But apparently her dad wanted Terrell too, but the grandmama said no. And so then the mama was so into drugs is that the other siblings don't even know who Rhonda is because they were taken immediately after she gave birth. They was putting into defects and, taken immediately. So they don't even know who their birth mama is. But apparently She found all 6 siblings and they're going to meet up in Detroit. So hey, now see, that is stuff that I need to know, and I'm intrigued about. I'm not intrigued about Tisha and Miss Nell. Find something else to talk about, Tisha. Find something else to talk about. Okay. Anyway, Martell, Chris, and Ken go to the car wash. Okay, they meet up at the car wash. Martell mad at Destiny because she ain't called him back about this this real estate venture that her and Chris was going to take on, but Chris' license is revoked and Destiny ain't calling back. So I think, he need to go with somebody else. Okay, if it's something that is actually in the works. I don't think it was actually in the works anyway, but whatever the case may be, they got to do something to keep Martell on. They got to do something to keep Martell on, okay? Because they can't bring on Ariane, okay? So they got to do something to keep Martell on. So that's, so I don't really think that was in the works, because Destiny would probably be in contact with him if, she was in real estate and stuff like that. And Chris, we already know he in real estate, but his license is revoked. So anyway, Chris tells him, his license is suspended. He said that he got set up and he was trying to look out for somebody and they basically flipped on him. Martell said, well, how you gonna feed your family? What? How you gonna feed your family? He said, listen, I got a business right over here. And they show the daycare. He was like, so he said, I got plenty other business ventures, because apparently they have a daycare. He got his realtor brokerage group. But I think that's on hold right now. But then they got a cleaning company. I didn't know they had a cleaning company. And they got properties and stuff like that. So, they ain't really hurting for nothing. That's probably why they got that big ass fucking house. Listen, call me. Okay? Call me now. Okay? You can get 2 for 1 now. You can get 2 for 1. Okay? So then they talked to Ken. They said, well, how you and Trish? And so Ken said, I moved out because, because it wasn't no peace in the house. So I had to move out. I got an apartment, even though Trisha said he moved in with Will. He got an apartment, whatever. And so Martell said, you need a 20-something-year-old woman. And Kim was like, no. He was like, under 30, they seem slow. I said, ooh. I know that's not right. I said, damn. I work with a bunch of 20-year-olds. I don't think they slow. I think they out to have a good time. The ones I've worked with, they just out to have a good time. They out partying. They doing trips. They doing their thing. They ain't thinking about, settling down and stuff. But Martell was like, you make good money. You smooth, you cool and stuff. And so Chris was like, so basically you want him to control her? And he said, yeah, because if you don't control them, they gonna control you, As he said, because Trisha tried to control you and see what she got. Martell, you showing your slip. Okay, Martell. Then he said, when I get married, I'ma lock her all the way down. I'll lock her all the way down. Listen, Ariane. Listen.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
I would not take this level of disrespect, girl. You better listen. So, Kimmy, Letitia, and Destiny meet up for Taco Tuesday. They talk about the winery and the 80s party again. Okay? Because they have nothing. Well, Destiny got something to talk about. But Letitia has nothing else to talk about. Nothing else to talk about. They can talk about Chris and Ken. Ken and Latricia. They can talk about Chris' license being suspended. They can talk about Kimmy and her fucked up relationship with Maurice. They can talk about Destiny meeting up with all her siblings. But no, Letitia want to talk about Nell. Anyway, Destiny said, I need a shot because, I got to deal with all this. Destiny, I felt you right there, then and there. Okay? I felt you because this is bullshit. Okay? Okay, this is some bullshit. Okay?
Don't care, don't care, don't care, still don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care. But we're going to go through this again, okay? So, Kimmy said the conversation in the car going to the winery was not resolved and it spilled into the winery. Now, in the car, they flash back to the car. Letitia said, I'm done talking about Nell. But now she's still talking about Nell. Why are you... I thought in the 80s party you were done but talking about Nell. You still talking about Nell. Letitia said, I thought you were defending Nell at the winery. And she talking to Destiny. Destiny said, well, what did I say? Letitia said, I'm not going to remember word for word. And so Destiny said, well, if you going to hold me to the fire, you got to tell me what I said. And then Letitia said, as a friend, you should know that, how I feel. And you should, apologize for how you make me feel. Destiny said, I did that shit already in the winery. I've said that already in the winery. Okay. Letitia said, well, I feel like this is not going anywhere. Yes, because you don't want it to go anywhere. You don't have nothing else to talk about. Talk about Ken and Latricia. Shit. Talk about Kimmy and Maurice. Okay? Shit, talk about Martell. Okay? Let's leave Nell alone. I don't understand. And so she said, I feel like you gonna go back to Nell and tell her that they ganging up on me. So what if she does? Who cares? Who cares if she go back and tell Nell that y'all ganging up on her? What Nell gonna do? Call y'all talking about why y'all ganging up on her? No, because she don't talk to y'all like that. So what difference does it make? What difference does it make? Oh, Destiny was like, I don't have to go back and tell nobody nothing. She said, but what I'm not going to do is grovel and kiss your goddamn ass. She said, Tisha, you said you want me to acknowledge your feelings. Have I done that? Have I already done that? And then Tisha was, wanted to say something. And then Destiny said, I'm still talking. And she was like, Destiny, you always trying to talk over me, Destiny. But Destiny was still talking. And then Letitia started talking. And then Destiny was like, well, I'm still talking. And she was like, you always trying to talk over me. And so Destiny was like, I feel like I'm being gaslit now. And so then Tisha was like, oh, so gang up on, gaslit. Now you the victim too.
Shut up, bitch!
Okay. Okay. Just shut the fuck up. Okay. Because nobody care. Nobody care about you and Nell. You and Nell was over last mid season or whatever. Once you had your mama talk to Nell and Nell still was like, I don't know why you talking to me, so Nell still won that argument. It's over. Let it go. Talk about something else. I really and truly don't want to see you talk about Nell ever again. Find something else to talk about than Nell. Nell got too much on her fucking plate to be worried about you. Okay? Anyway, they said to be continued anyway. So that was the end of the episode. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, y'all.